Who needs pot of greed when you've got the pot of savings?
Welcome to another video, and there has been a massive update. We got the coolest new cards to come to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel in a long time. Still no fish, but Konami has blessed us with the unstoppable Exodia. So today I'm going to be building a budget Exodia deck, and we'll see how powerful budget Exodia can be. There's also Fiendsmiths in this pack, which are, I'm told, quite good. We'll see how good they are, really. So first, I'm going to do some pack pulls, see if I can get lucky, and then we will be building the budget Exodia. So let's get going. And I got 6,000 gems, which is quite a lot, but Konami has been known to scam people. So let's see, is 6,000 gems enough to build a budget Exodia? Konami, no scams, please. Let me know how you like the new cards, if you think Exodia is going to be sick. I think it feels almost like you could splash it in a lot of decks, but the cost of playing 5 bricks is very high, so maybe some decks will want to play Exodia and some won't. Maybe we should be playing just Grandpa's deck from OG Yu-Gi-Oh! That would also be pretty fun. Let's see. Alright, first we got to get not scammed. Millennium Millennium Ankh, and Fiendsmith Track. Does Fiendsmith play Track? Probably. This is an ultra rare for the Fiendsmith, so I'm guessing you'll want probably multiple of these. It adds a Fiend. Okay, yeah, this searches them, and it fusions them. Okay, so this is probably a 3 of. And we got the Millennium Ankh, which is thankfully an SR, so budget Exodia will be possible. Alright, Millennium Ankh is the card that summons the Forbidden One from your extra deck, so very cool. Alright, we're gonna want 3 of those for the budget Exodia. If I don't pull 3, I will craft them. Pack number 3. Alright, pack number 3. Now, I just, the only ultra rares, very cool. We'll check that one out. We'll check that one out later. The only ultra rares for the Exodia deck, I believe, are one of the main deck monsters and the Unstoppable Exodia Incarnate Fusion monster. So I'm pretty sure building a budget version of Exodia is going to be very, very possible. We might even have space to splash some non-engine stuff. We'll see. Usually for my budget decks, I do 3 ultra rares from the archetype, and then just, you know, kind of other stuff to fill in the gaps. And we'll see how that goes. We'll see if it's good also. You know, we'll see if we get to incidentally Exodia people. The fun thing about Exodia deck is you can just randomly draw all 5 pieces of Exodia and get that, you know, the instant win. Still feels great after all these years. So I don't know what Konami has got planned as far as fish monsters go. It feels like it's been 10,000 years since the last fish has been dropped on us. So I don't know what Konami's doing. Maybe they need help. Maybe I need to drive down to Konami HQ and tell them, hey, here's some ideas for fish you could do, because they've been slacking. They've been slacking on fish duty. All right. Also, there's the free deck. All right, if you're a new player or if you don't have, I think it's that fusion deck, the one that everyone plays with the dragon that banishes things. All right. If you like Branded Dragon, that's what it's called. If you like Branded, all right, and Mirror Jade, Ice Blade Dragon, you can now play that deck for free. You just have to have a friend. All right, so we got a Azamina Mo Regina. I think this one is also used in the Fiendsmiths, but I actually don't know what this one does. All right, I don't know what this one does. You tell me. I think it uses a Fiend. I'm pretty sure this is a Fiendsmith card. All right, so we probably do want one of these. This pull is okay. All right, on average, you're supposed to get 2.5 ultra rares per pack for 10 pulls. So 2 is okay, but not great. So let's see if we can get unscammed, maybe get some sick pulls. All right, I was watching DK pull from this pack, and Konami literally hacked his account while he was pulling because he was getting garbage pulls. And some Konami intern came in and like cranked up the rares. All right, love it. We got it. The Exodia Incarnate. This is key to the deck, all right? And I've seen, if you're playing this deck non-budget, you're going to play probably 3 of this. We'll see how many we want to play with budget. But this guy is your boss, all right? Once per turn, it gains attack equal to your life points. Once per turn, when a spell or trap is activated, you can negate. And then once per turn in the end phase, you set an Exod or obliterate exclamation mark spell trap from your deck to the field. It does burn you in your standby phase. You lose 1,000 life points, so you're going to want to close the game out quickly. But Exodia is unstoppable, all right? Cannot be destroyed. That is definitely going to protect you from all sorts of things. Not Mirror Jade, but but some things. I mean, not Little Knight either, but I'm sure some things it protects you from. All right, on to the next pulls. We gotta get more luck. All right, Konami. One Exodia, that's not enough. All right, I'm gonna need more than that. I'm gonna need them to hack into my account like they did with Decade and crank up the rare meter. Cause if you didn't see that pull video, you should go watch it. It was insanity. Insanity. I should do a video just on that. Konami hacks DK's Master Duel account to give him more ultra rares. That's some clickbait. Yeah, I've been trying out some more clickbaity thumbnails. I don't know how it's going. It's nonsense. YouTube's nonsense. If you like the new clickbaity thumbnails, you let me know down in the comments. Oh, also, you can subscribe if you enjoy this channel because, you know, if you like the channel, subscribing helps the channel grow, helps me make more videos. So, yeah, appreciate all the subs. All right. Where are my other ultra rares, Konami? All right. Don't scam me, please. One Exodia is great, but where are all the Fiendsmiths at? Maybe. We get a Amazina of the White Forest. So this is a White Forest card. This is not a Fiendsmith. I am told that people play this card in White Forest, but I don't think White Forest is very good. So you let me know if you've been having success with White Forest, because I have not seen it do anything. So I'm not sure what it does. On to pack number 8. Konami came in, boosted the rarity of one of these cards. We'll see if it got boosted all the way to ultra rare. It did not. It's a Fiendsmith sequence. Exodia's head is here. I believe I have a shiny Exodia's face. So if I do, we will be playing that in the budget deck. Budget deck lets me flex my shiniest cards. Alright, pack number 9. I'm pretty sure we only got one ultra rare so far. Where's my average ultra rare count? If I only get one, then I'm gonna just, oh, okay, alright. Konami heard me. I was about to make some statements here. Fiendsmith Engraver, we're gonna be wanting this one. Discard it, add a Fiendsmith from your deck to your hand. So that is quite good. Alright, quite good. We're gonna want this one. And my understanding is every deck is playing Fiendsmiths. They're just like so splashable that every deck plays them. So 3 ultra rares, pretty good. Alright, we are up slightly above the average, which is quite nice. So let's keep pulling though, because I need my Exodia. I need my Exodia cards. And we'll probably get skipping. Oh, okay, never mind. We were gonna skip, but then this one looks sick. So we'll do this one, and then we'll skip the rest. We don't have time to do pulls all day. But we do want as many Exodias as we can get. Ooh, very nice. Fiendsmith Engraver Part 2, the sequel. We're gonna want 3 of this for Fiendsmith. We're not even playing Fiendsmith today. Alright, we'll play Fiendsmith next time. Maybe Fiendsmith, can we play Fiendsmith with Goaty? Is that insanity? I'm pretty sure they make level 6 fusions, which is kind of cool for Goaty. What is going on in this art? It's finally Yugioh doing some weird and interesting art pieces. Saint Azamina. This is another of these Fiendsmiths cards, I think. I don't know if they play this one though. I'm gonna have to learn how Fiendsmiths work. I've come in doing 0 research. I'm a very bad YouTuber. Very bad. I do all my research after I do the pack pulls. See if I can afford to play the deck before I make any do any investment in time of researching. Pack number 4. Pack number 4. We got some more Exodia pieces. We got shiny left arm. I gotta check if I have all the foil arms, because gotta get all the foil Exodia limbs to play this deck properly to its maximum potential. Pack number 5. Let us quickly flip it face up. And here it is. Snake Eyes Doomed Dragon. I don't know if Snake Eyes actually plays this, but this card looks kind of sick. So maybe Snake Eyes, we can check him out. Must be fusion summoned. By sending cards from your spell trap zone to the graveyard. Well, that's a pretty cool fusion summoning requirement. It needs an illusion monster though. Where are we getting an illusion monster from? If you know how to summon this card, and if it's good, then you let me know. It does the thing that the Snake Eyes Dragon does. It puts a monster on the field into the spell trap zone. That's not something. I mean, that's okay. This seems kind of mid. You let me know. Does Snake Eyes play this? Is it good? Been a while since I've seen Snake Eyes. Ever since they got hit on the ban list, people have been putting them away, playing something else. We get a Archfiend Eccentric. Not particularly interesting to me. It did have Pendulum text box, so whenever I see Pendulum text box, I get scared. If you're a Pendulum fan, let me know. I've met some people who love the Pendulums, and I couldn't believe it. Alright, I tried to tell them that they were wrong, but Spell Card Monster Reborn. This card I don't think is very good. Alright, you target a monster in a graveyard, special summon to your field, but it can't attack, and neither player can activate its effects. So it's kind of like Quick Play Monster Reborn, but because the monster can't attack, you can only really use it to do, you know, more extension of summons. It's interesting. Alright, if you're playing Monster Reborn, this seems like it's like a slight upgrade. It's a side, I guess it's more of a side grade. Maybe we'll try this out in a deck. You let me know if you're playing Spell Card Monster Reborn, what you're doing with it, if it's good, if it's worth it. Because I don't really play regular Monster Reborn in my decks usually, so I don't know if I'm looking for a slightly worse Monster Reborn. We get a Fiendsmith Requiem. And pack number 9. We got one more pull after this, and then we'll be going to Skip Town. Straight to Skip Town. I haven't pulled any more Exodias, which is really why I'm here. Right? I got all these Fiendsmiths, that I don't want, you know, I really just want more Exodia pieces. Fiendsmith Engraver Part 2 though is pretty sick, and we'll see if we find a use for Spell Card Monster Reborn. Might end up decrafting this one if I don't like it. All right, let's quickly skip. Let's get skipping. We don't have time. We don't have time for this anymore. Oh my God, we got scammed. All right, we got fully scammed. Konami giving me the official scam warning. It's still, it gets old. All right, Konami, you gotta. I feel like just give me the ultra rare right now. All right, don't make me do another scam pull. So we're one ultra. They owe us one. So we subtract one from the results of this 10 pull because we are owed one. So this one doesn't count. I do get the third engraver though. That's kind of sick. And 2 more LZs. So we got 2 in this pack. So I think we're like very, very close to the average for this this pull today. And I got one more 10 pull. So we'll get pulling. See if we pull another Exodia thing. And then we'll get building the deck. Ooh. Oh, what a nice final pull. Fiendsmith Engraver, Prismatic Spell Card Monster Reborn, which I guess I gotta play this card now because these prismatics are very difficult to get. All right, very difficult. So I guess I'll be keeping that one. You can dismantle it for any ultra rare. So let me know what I do with the Spell Card Monster Reborn. Desperately need to know what it's used for. Fiendsmith Tract. I definitely want another one of those. And Deception of the Sinful Spoils. This is, I guess, good for Snake Eyes maybe. Or is this used in Fiendsmiths? I don't know what Azamina cards do. So we'll do some research, see what Fiendsmith Engine is and what it does. And let's get playing some budget Exodia. Alright, we are back with some budget Exodia. And we're playing pure Exodia, we're playing at budget. And this is a really great budget deck. I am very impressed with Konami. They did an excellent job of making the pieces to this deck very cheap. I think the Exodia engine is going to be kind of hilariously splashable in other archetypes. I have Exodia Goatees kind of ready to go, so if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe, because I'll be back with Exodia Goatees next. Opponent's going first. They are playing Raid Raptors, and usually Raid Raptors ends on the ultimate Raid Raptor Falcos or something. That's a big Xe monster that is unaffected by card effects. We do have some cards that get around that. One of them is the actual Exodia boss himself, who often has enough attack points that he can attack over big towers that are kind of unaffected. Generally, those big towers are weak to attacking, so 8,000 attack Exodia, pretty good. Also, we have some Lava Golems in the deck. This deck does not generally use the normal summon, which I think is going to make it kind of exploitable as a package to go in other decks. And because it doesn't use the normal summon, we can use Lava Golem, and Lava Golem tribute opponent's monsters. So we don't have a Lava Golem in hand. We could draw one. But opponent did the thing. They set up their ultimate Falcos. It's unaffected by card effects. The effect to detach, and then your opponent loses attack, can't activate cards or effects. Only works on their turn. So thankfully, we are allowed to activate cards. So I did not draw the Lava Golem, but we also quickly saw opponents search for something at the end of their turn there. They searched for a Raid Raptor Phantom Knights Crew, so this is a monster effect negate. So that is what this does. So the opponent has monster effect negate, unaffected towers, and then one mystery set back row. Let's see if we can get through this. Raigeki doesn't really do anything against the Ultimate Falcos. So let's start things off by activating Heart. This card is cracked, alright, for a couple reasons. First off, searchable by a Blue Eyes support. So you're going to see in this deck, we have some Blue Eyes cards that search this guy. Also, just searches your #1 super amazing card. Opponent Ash Blossoming it. But even if it gets Ash Blossomed, alright, it sits in the graveyard. And if opponent ever special summons a monster with 3,000 or more attack, or that's level 8 or higher, it just special summons itself and sends that card to the graveyard. So pretty crazy. The Heart of Blue Eyes, very good. Also very good against other Exodia decks if you ever do the mirror match. Opponent, Raid Raptor Read Lines, making their Raid Raptors unable to be destroyed by battle this turn. That is fine. So often we're able to do a big attack with Exodia, and if opponent has any little monsters in attack mode, then that can be lethal on its own. Fortunately, we're gonna have to pay some life points now. Activate the shield, get the Millennium Monk in the hand, activate the Golem. Opponent gonna Raid Raptor Phantom, negate this. Okay, so this is, I was actually worried that opponent would negate the effect of Exodia. If you're playing against Exodia, what effect do you negate? Okay, the effect of Exodia to boost its own attack during the damage step, during the damage calculation. Sorry, not even during the damage step. That is a negatable effect by spell speed 3 things. So opponent could have negated that, and that kind of kills the Exodia. So glad opponent used their removal now. If they hadn't, alright, if they hadn't used their removal, I was going to use a Nightmare Phoenix to pop their back row, basically force it. So opponent used their negate now instead of on the Exodia, but we would have been able to deal with it either way. Let's activate the Millennium Monk, show opponent that we have Exodia in our deck. Very important step. Konami made you select each piece, which is kind of annoying. That like you already know to activate. We had to have them all. So Konami, why you make me click all of them? You know, not necessary. Opponent gonna Raid Raptor Red Lions in the graveyard effect to make it so they take no damage this turn. We're gonna negate that with Exodia. And now we're gonna go to battle and smack opponent. Raid Raptor Booster. What is this doing? Banish this card, destroy the attacking monster. So Exodia's first line of text is that he can't be destroyed by card effects. So, and you can see with this, alright, this is a very cool extension, and this feature is great. Or if you have untapped, it shows you how good a card is, how much you should focus on negating it. And this little bar is great. All right, this is great. It's also data based, so it shows based on how often people negate it. So it's a very cool feature. You can get this extension. It will help you a lot in duels. It shows a lot of useful facts. So we smack our opponent for some attack. We're gonna hit him with the Raigeki, pop him, and we're gonna set the Solemn Judgment. We're gonna set an Exod Fires of Rage. And opponent is going to burn us again for 1,000. Reduce. Oh, sorry. They're going to reduce our attack for 1,000. So we should lose the Exodia here. So what opponent should do, all right, is they detach. Then we can't activate effects for the rest of this turn. And then they crash over the Exodia. But they do this, and then we get another turn. We can Exod Fires of Rage, and then maybe add another Exodia piece to the hand. We still don't have an out to the Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcos because of its unaffectedness. But if we summon another Exodia, then we might be able to get over it just by attacking. So we'll see. Opponent is attacking. Okay, they forgot to activate. Opponent forgot to activate their Raid Raptor. So we got the Exodia boost, and he boosted his attack again, and opponent died. So opponent maybe not the biggest brain player here, but still a good showing for Exodia, going second against Raid Raptors. Let's go on to the next game. All right, on to the next game. Now, this deck is just very fun to play. I'm a big fan of decks where they don't combo in a way that's like convoluted. They just kind of do their thing. It's kind of like the thing they want to do is very simple. And here's another one of my favorite cards, Red Eyes Black Dragoon. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, Red Eyes Black Dragon right now. So opponent set 3 back row, has a Dragoon negate. Okay, so what do we do in this situation? Well, if we can get our Exodia out, he can attack over Dragoon because he's just big enough to attack over the Dragoon. So we just got to deal with opponent's 1 negate. They have 1 card in the hand they can discard with the Dragoon. So let's start things off with the Heart. If we were going first, this would have been amazing against them. Opponent, Call by the Grave. Banishing, negating the heart. Okay, this is sad, but it's not the end of the world. Ashened. Not sure why they flipped this up. This does nothing right now. It adds from the graveyard to the hand an Ashen card, but they don't have any. So opponent doing nothing with that face up Ashened for eternity. And Heart of the Blue Eyes is negated, but thankfully we have like 10,000 one-card starters here. Yugioh Temple, kind of a 1.5 card starter. We have to have a monster in hand. It can be any monster though. So we're going to get the shield and we're going to get the Sengenjin. Search for the Ankh, summon the Sengenjin. Search for another copy of the Blue Eyes. And because opponent has one more set back row, the plan here is to use Nightmare Phoenix. We're going to summon Nightmare Phoenix, discard the Blue Eyes, so we get another one in the graveyard, and then we can activate our Ankh. Opponent has the Dragoon negate still, so trying to force opponent's Dragoon negate. Opponent super poly, fusing our 2 monsters. So we did get rid of the back row. And now we can summon the Exodia array. Summon the Exodia all 5 pieces. And we can go to battle and attack, but Dragoon can negate Exodia's effect to increase his attack points. So we're going to have to play it a little slower. And I will be honest, when I was playing this duel, I forgot that opponent had discarded the last card in their hand, so Dragoon could not negate. So Dragoon actually not a live negate. I remembered it. I remember Dragoon could negate, but I did not remember that it requires an additional card, and they discarded with a poly. So bit of a misplay on my part. We're going to set the Exod Fires of Rage, and we got the Exodia, which can boost its attack, but now opponent has a card in the hand. Opponent trying to destroy Exodia, which does nothing. So we're going to pop their board. Opponent going to battle. We are going to boost our attack with the Exodia, and I don't know why opponent didn't negate this. I'm pretty sure opponent could negate this once per turn when a card effect is activated. Quick effect, discard, negate. Let me know if there's some sort of spell speed rule that says you can't activate effects while this effect is happening. Pretty sure you can. But opponent crashes their own Dragoon, and this is the second time this has happened today. Not sure what's going on with opponents crashing their monsters into the Exodia, but this is easy lethal now. Let's just get in for the big damage. We'll send Blue Eyes to the graveyard first. Yeah, and that's easy lethal. So let me know, all right, if I'm like misunderstanding how this card works, or if my opponents are just fools today. This isn't platinum, by the way. I'm not like in a low rank, so I don't know what's going on. Opponents attacking into Exodia. Very funny. Let's go on to the next game. All right, be sure to stick around. Like I said, I'll have the full deck list at the end of the video, and I'm very excited for. All right, here we go. Okay, Melody of Awakening Dragon. You're like, hey, this isn't an ultra rare. Why is this in the deck? This is expensive. I don't want to craft this. This is in the Blue Eyes structure deck, so you can spend 500 gems and you can have a copy of this card. You get a whole Blue Eyes deck with it, and you can pay 2 more times and have 3 copies. So that's why it's in the deck. I consider that if it's in a structure deck, it's so easy to get that I count it as a budget card. So if you have to buy some structure decks to get this to work, I think that's a fair compromise. Opponent Ash Blossoming. Now this is the reason Melody's kind of bad. All right, we have to discard a card, and if we get negated, we lose the Melody and we lose the card we discarded. But it's so good to get the dragon, the Blue Eyes Dragon card, that I think it's worth it. Now we made opponent. I was going first a lot with this deck and winning a lot, so I wanted to show that it could play going second. I was making opponents go second, and a lot of players, when you make them go first, they freak out. So our opponent, maybe their hand is all hand traps, but they just pass with no actions. So we'll see. Planet Pathfinder. Okay, there's 2 hand traps. We were going to use that to search for the field spell, but it's been negated, so let's use the Golem. We're going to have to pay some life points now. Summon the Golem, search for the Yugioh Temple, activate Yugioh Temple, and we're going to set our arm onto the field, get our Sengenjin. Sengenjin going to summon itself, add the Heart of Blue Eyes to the hand. We're going to activate, discard, get the Millennium Ankh. And is this lethal damage? All right, not quite. All right, because we have 4,000 attack plus 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it is actually lethal damage. Okay, I can't count. This is lethal damage. When we attack with the Exodia, opponent knows it is lethal, and they are cooked, and they are done. Love to see it. Let's go on to the next game. All right, on to the next game. We do not have a very good going second hand, but opponent is activating Cup of Ace and losing the coin flip. So this is Pot of Greed half the time. This is Pot of Greed. Are you guys playing Cup of Ace? Are we in Cup of Base meta right now? Beautiful. Interesting card, which usually you use to get a... there's no related cards here. But usually you get a Lifeless Leaf Fish and play Goatees, but opponent just got a Shark Stickers. Not sure what my opponent is doing. Summoning a Silent Angler. Alright. Well, this is good because this gives us the opportunity to show off the power of going second. I don't know what's going on today. Maybe opponents are... maybe they're asleep at the wheel. Maybe they're testing out some things I don't know about. But Beautiful is a 1-card combo. And if you Beautiful summon Shark Stickers and have an extender with Silent Angler and do nothing with your board, like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Alright, I don't know what's going on in Platinum Rank today. Millennium Mank going to reveal all our Exodia pieces. We are going to summon our Exodia. And we are going to obliterate opponent who, you know, is going to get Regeki'd here. And then this is 8,000 damage. So opponent, here's your obliteration. Love to see it. Exodia, unstoppable. Smack in the opponent. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, on to the next game. Opponent going first again. We have our 1 Imperm, 1 Ash Blossom. These are from the bundles, so if you don't have these, we'll talk about in the deck list what you can swap in, because there's a lot of cards you can swap into the Exodia deck. Opponent summoning a Trudea. I am medium likely to negate this, so we're going to negate it. It'd be fun if it showed what happened after it's negated, like if you negate it and win, you know. But we'll accept the average opinion of all the players of Yu-Gi-Oh. Opponent summoning their Pizza Hut. We don't negate the Pizza Hut. Gargoyle is here, and opponent is adding a Bishop Rebellion to the hand. Okay, all right. It is our turn, and this is full combo. The Planet Pathfinder. Opponent showing us a Maxi in the hand. All right, they're about to activate that. We got Ash Blossom to stop it though, so we'll just negate. We'll negate with the Ash Blossom. Planet Pathfinder is full combo if you have another monster in the hand. It can be any monster in the hand, full combo. So also because we don't use the normal summon in this deck, Planet Pathfinder are pretty good, kind of 1-card starter for the archetype if you're playing on budget especially. So let's Wedju Temple, activate, put our Planet Pathfinder on the field, get our 1 copy of Sengenjin, summon itself, search for the Heart of Blue Eyes, activate, search for, oh, opponent, Bestial Druid Swarm, get rid of the heart. Very sad. Sad to see it go, but it's done its job here. Getting the Millennium Monk, and we're going to go to battle. We're going to clear out the Bestial Druid Swarm because this guy is a problem. Alright, it's a problem. We could have summoned the Exodia and then attacked 2 monsters. That's probably would have been better. But I guess, no, okay, never mind. This was correct. Yeah, we send the Bestial Druid Swarm, and now it's not on the field anymore. So opponent can't send our Exodia. So Millennium Monk, reveal our 5 Exodia pieces, summon our Exodia, and we have our 1 of Forbidden Droplet again from the bundle. Great pack in the store right now also. There's like a pack that's all staples. So if you're missing staples, just buy the all staples pack and you'll get what you need eventually. Okay, so we got the Exiled Fires of Rage. Destroy all cards opponent controls once per turn. With some upside as well in the graveyard. But we have to control our Unstoppable Exodia. Opponent, what can you do to stop it? Bestial Rebellion is here. Going to activate and set a branded spell. Getting a branded regain, which does nothing. And opponent, I don't know what, like, opponents, you gotta read Exodia. Like, yeah, I know he's 0, but like, it says if he battles, you make his attack gain to life points. I don't know what opponents are doing. Opponents smacking themselves with Exodia. Maybe they're giving up the will to live. Exodia going to end phase, set another Exiled Fires of Rage. We are going to Exiled Fires of Rage, wipe opponent's field away in the end phase. And this is very easy lethal with Exodia. Exodia's head making an appearance here. Opponent going to Ash Blossom, negate our search for an Exodia piece. That's smart play. We were really close to getting them with Exodia here. Alright, we almost had 5 pieces. Anyway, let's attack opponent for 6,000 damage. And that is game. Very quick, very easy. Exodia. So much power. So cheap. On a budget. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, we are finally on the play. And if you're playing this deck, alright, and you're thinking, what is my good play, alright, going first? And it's really just have a copy of the Ankh in hand. And if you can have a copy of the Ankh and you can have a Heart of Blue Eyes in your graveyard, you're going to be doing really good. There are some end boards that you can make where you set some back row. But because the Millennium Ankh shuffles away all non-Exodia monsters on the field into the deck, you do only have a couple options for what you can do with all your Exodia monsters. So today we're just getting our Exodia unstoppable, and we're just setting that Fires of Rage. And you know, we got Ash Blossom, we got Effect Veiler, and we got the Heart of Blue Eyes. So we really have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of interaction, 5 if you count the Exiled Fires of Rage. Opponent Bonfire set in 2 back row. Activating Fire Rejection, I am not going to negate that. Summoning a Primal Dragon, which can banish dragons from the graveyard, and if it's tributed, target a monster, make a second attack. I don't know what that's all about. We're going to wipe the field here. Opponent used their normal summon. They don't seem to have anything else. All their back row was swept away. We get an Obliterate Blaze to show opponent what lethal really looks like. And let's show off that Obliterate Blaze. Activate the effect. So fun thing about this card, right? It's a little confusing. So this card says that you give Exodia this effect. You give your Exodia this effect. So you target Exodia, and then Obliterate Blaze lets you use these modes. Okay. Now Exodia has the effect that he can, on like Ignition effect, activate, put all your Exodia pieces on the field, and then he gains attack 2,000 per Exodia piece. Now it also says that, hold on, and this is a card that's a little confusing. I am going to explain this because this happened to me a couple times. I was confused. Why can't I activate the effect? All right. So Blaze activates target Exodia, and then it gains the effect: destroy as many spell traps on the field as possible, then equip 5 monsters, 5 of the Forbidden One monsters. You need to have a spell on the field. There has to be a spell trap on the field in order to activate this effect. And it needs to be in the spell trap zones, not a field spell. So if you just have anything, like we could have set Regeki here, you could set another copy of the Millennium Ankh. If you're confused why you're not able to activate Exodia's effect, that is why. All right, that's why you gotta pay attention here. You gotta set that spell. Probably makes more sense in the original Japanese. In English, it does not clearly say that you need to have something on the field to pop in order to activate the effect, but that is how it works. Opponent's life points reduced to 0. All the Exodia pieces in play. Love to see it. Let's go on to the next game. All right, on to the next game. We are going first again, and we have the Wedju Temple, which means we can get Wedju in. Let's Wedju. Activate. Get our Sengenjin. Pay 2,000 life points, get our Heart on the field. Heart going to search for the Millennium Ankh. And now we Exodia. Now you'll notice we have an Exod Fires of Rage in the hand. So what do we do if we already have our Exod? So in this budget deck, I am playing, you're about to see it, I am playing the Obliterate. Alright, now Obliterate says that you can target a monster on the field, send a Forbidden or Exodia monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and return the targeted monster to the hand. So you can use this to bounce your stuff, you can use this to bounce opponent's stuff. You can use this to bounce your Lava Golem. If you Lava Golem opponent, you can get your Lava Golem back and do it again. Also works with the regular Kaijus, so if you want to play Kaijus with this, definitely something to consider. Also gives us a search target if we have Exod Fires of Rage on the hand. Now, you will want to play one extra card in the deck, you'll see in a second, if you're going to play this extra Obliterate. So opponent got a Magical Mallet. I am going to let that go. Not worried about Magical Mallet. Heavy Storm, however, I will negate. I want to keep my back row. So forcing the negate on the Exodia. Opponent. Heavy Storm denied. Opponent playing Ancient Gears. Now Ancient Gears are maybe a bad matchup for Exodia because what do? We can't activate our effect in the battle phase to gain attack. A lot of the Ancient Gears say you can't activate monster effects in the battle phase. If we can't activate Exodia's effect to boost his own attack in the battle phase, we could die. So we might be in trouble here. We do have Imperm. We do have Exod Fires of Rage to pop everything. We do have an Obliterate to bounce something. So we'll see what we can do. Opponent is going second deck for sure, though. Opponent going to activate Ancient Gearbox, getting a Magical Hound. Summoning Ancient Gear statue. So I'm going to wipe the board in this position before they activate the statue, which contribute itself to special summon an Ancient Gear monster. So we're gonna try and wipe now. But I forgot the Ancient Gear Fortress says something about monsters not being destroyable by card effects. So we couldn't destroy opponent's monsters because of the Ancient Gear Fortress. Couldn't really play around that, I guess. So had to do it. Opponent gonna summon the Ancient Gearbox. We're gonna negate the Gear statue before opponent tributes it. Opponent had the Fusion Summon in hand. Summoning that Gear Giant. Would have liked to negate that, but again, we had to use our negate on the Spell Duster, I guess. Had to use it on the Heavy Storm. Thankfully, our Heart of Blue Eyes is gonna send that guy to the graveyard and summon itself. So, showing off the power of some extra interaction. Opponent getting a Gear Ballista. So they can target a spell and pop it. They also get to search for Gear Town. So I'm gonna Ghost Ogre here, pop the Ballista, and now we still have one additional interaction. We have the Obliterate to bounce a monster to the hand. So hopefully we can survive this. Opponent getting the Gear Tanker. Gear Tanker going to, they still had their normal summon. Opponent getting to resummon the Chaos Ancient Gear Giant, and this guy is unaffected by spell trap effects. So, and also says we can't activate monster effects during the battle phase. So we can obliterate, bounce our own Exodia to the hand, and this is the card you want to play. All right, 1 copy, Legendary Exodia Incarnate, because you don't want to send your Exodia pieces to the graveyard. So it's important to have something to send with the obliterate, and we're gonna send that. So opponent Ancient Gear, Chaos Ancient Gear Giant also has piercing battle damage, so it's gonna pop us and also deal some damage directly. And now our life points are at 1200. 1200 life points. Chaos Ancient Gear Giant unaffected by spell trap effects. We don't have enough life points to get a big Exodia anymore. So what do we do in this situation? We got Obliterate Blaze. We can add an Exodia piece to our hand, but we cannot activate the Sengenjin because it costs 2,000 life points. So I think opponent may have gotten us. We can set a Heart of Blue Eyes on the field. We can bounce opponent's monster to the hand, and we're going to die to opponent's Gear Golem. So opponent getting through a lot of interaction there with the Ancient Gears. So doing a pretty good job with Ancient Gears, I gotta say. They seem to be prepared for Exodia. Well, let's go on to the deck list. Alright, here it is. Budget Exodia. We're going to go through the deck list. I'll talk about what the budget options are afterwards. So we got all 5 pieces of Exodia. We got the Effect Veiler from the bundle. We got Ghost Ogre from the bundle. We got Ash Blossom from the bundle. Alright. We got 2 Planet Pathfinders. You could play 3 if you're missing some of the other Exodia pieces. If you're missing the shields or the Heart of Blue Eyes or the Golems. You can play more Planet Pathfinders. We're playing 2 though. Triple Shield, 2 copies of the Golem, and 2 copies of Lava Golem. I feel like Lava Golem is pretty good, so you may want to play additional copies of that, and then maybe some copies of Evenly Matched if you're playing budget. That's a good option. You could also play some of the Kaijus too. We got Sengenjin. We got triple of the Heart of Blue Eyes, and if we're playing this in other decks, this is the card that's good. Alright, we're playing triple of this. This card is very good. You always want to see this. We got 1 Legendary Exodia Incarnate, and as I mentioned, this is to send to the graveyard with the Obliterate Trap, so that we don't have to send our regular Exodia pieces. You can also summon this guy by tributing an Exodia piece. Well, you special summon an Exodia. You tribute... How should I explain this? You special summon this guy by tributing an Exodia piece. So if you got this guy in the hand, you summon an Exodia piece, you get this guy in the field. It is unaffected by other card effects, which means I think it is unaffected by the effect of Obliterate that says 1 Exodia gains these effects. You let me know if you've tried it out, but I think the way this card is phrased, it will not be able to be given the effect of Obliterate Blaze. I'm not sure how that works though. We got Regeki from everyone's free Regeki that everyone has. We got Triple Melody. These are from the Blue Eyes structure deck. If you want these, just craft the Blue Eyes structure deck. Searches for your heart, which is something you're always want to have in hand. Triple Ankh. Triple of the field spell. We got 1 Forbidden Droplet from a bundle. We got Obliterate Blaze. Evenly Matched. Imperm from the bundle. 2 Exile Fires of Rage. 1 Solemn Judgment from the bundle. And Obliterate. In the extra deck, you want 2 or 3 copies of Exodia. The rest of the extra deck does really not matter, although Nightmare Phoenix, very good. SP Little Knight, very good if you have it. One thing I didn't talk about is Silhouette Rabbit. So this is a card that if you have it, you're gonna want to play it in this deck. Shiluha Rabbit says that when it's link summoned, you can set a continuous trap from your deck with an effect that summons itself. So what you want to do with this card is you're going to search. There's no related cards. You're going to search for a spell trap. The Angel Statue Azurune. Okay. This card is a continuous trap, so it doesn't get sent to the graveyard when you activate your Millennium Ankh. And it special summons it. You special summon it, and then if your opponent would special summon a monster, you can send this card to the graveyard and negate the summon, basically. So, very, very powerful card, and lets you use your extra Sengenjins and other shields and other nonsense that you can't really do anything with to turn them into a piece of interaction. So, yeah, Silhouette Rabbit plus Azurine Statue, definitely an option. All right, very good going first. If I were to make recommendations for what you would change, if you want to make a less budgety version of the deck, definitely cutting the Solemn Judgment, because it's kind of like the deck's already good going first. You don't need more going first cards. Probably just playing Maxis, and then like more of the staple interaction, and then kind of trimming. So throw some Maxis in, throw some Ash Blossoms in. Definitely you'll want to play 2 copies of Finger. Finger, very good at stopping opponents from Ash Blossoming your stuff. And the Planet Pathfinders are okay. Alright, they're okay, but they're not as good as Sengenjin. So I would play triple Sengenjin, cut the Planet Pathfinders, since, you know, you're going to want that. That is going to be ideal. Also, I think you probably will not need the Obliterate package. It is okay. Alright, it's okay. But there's better things you could run, especially since you'll want more interaction going second. I would actually play Effect Failure over Impermanence because it's a monster. And the field spell Wedge Temple kind of wants you to have monsters in the hand to activate it. So extra monsters are kind of good. I would also cut Regeki because Regeki is pretty mid, especially right now. And I would also even cut Ghost Ogre because Ghost Ogre also cuttable. Now, I was thinking a lot about this. This is probably the only deck where it actually makes sense to run over 50 cards because we have so many bricks and there's so many 1-card starters that you could just like run Golem and you could just run extra copies of Pathfinder because these are just 1-card starters. And it reduces the odds you just draw multiple Exodia pieces in your hand. So I would recommend doing that if you have the ability. You can also run. It is a bit of a brick, but if you have copies of it, the Bingo, Blue Eyes Bingo. Bingo searches for your heart if you don't have it in the hand already. If you have a copy of heart in the hand, then this does nothing. But getting heart is so important that it might be worth running triple, just to have access to it. It is dead in the late game though, so this is just an option to think about. Yeah, we already talked a little about the extra deck. Extra deck doesn't really matter. Just play generic staple link cards because you're really just summoning Exodia. All right, that's the video. That's the gameplay. I hope you liked the deck. I didn't go through the budget extra deck, but we just have Unstoppable Exodia, Dragon Mech, Starslayer, Typhon, triple Link Spider to turn our Exodia pieces into effect monsters, Nightmare Cerberus, Nightmare Phoenix, SP Little Knight, and Excess Code Talker. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and I'll see you next time for Go to Exodia. Have a good night.